everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Kathy at Attic Treasures, etc. And today is Make Ahead Monday. So I thought what we would do today is to make some of these beautiful envelopes for your junk journals out of paper doilies. And things like scrapbook paper with collaging on it, or magazine pages, or even music pages. So what I've done here is I've put a cardboard button on it with a wax seal to hold it closed, and just some stamping and some collaging, things like that. Here's another little paper button that I made a while back with a key. And for this one, instead of using a real stamp, I used this little crocheted applique and some leaves. A little safety pin right there. And with this one, I used another paper button with a little lock and some collaging, a stamp from this. It's not an actual stamp, it's a stamp from a book of stamps. So why don't we go ahead and get started. Some of the images that I've gotten from Victoria magazine. And this is a really cool magazine, so if you happen to see any, I know I've mentioned them before, but you can get some absolutely gorgeous images out of here. Things like this, the florals. I kind of like this one with the gold leaves, nice for fall. Here's another one with some really pretty colors and stuff in it. We're going to get started with this one. Since it's fall, I thought it would be kind of fun to do a fall themed envelope. And then I have these paper doilies, and you can use other sizes of paper doilies, but I chose these because they fit really nicely on the page. And what I would like to do is to position the doily. I'm going to use this as the top, just so I can kind of gauge where I want the image to be. And I kind of want it to be right about there. So I'm going to turn it over, and then I can position that sort of in that same general vicinity. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is apply some of this Distress Collage Medium to the back of the doily. And this might not be a perfect placement, but it'll be kind of in the general vicinity. And I also want to put the Distress Collage Medium on the image itself too. And this helps seal it. It makes it a little bit stronger for when you're opening and closing the envelope and putting things inside of it. So I'm going to dry this offline, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now that this is dry, I'm going to go ahead and cut around, basically fussy cutting around the edges of the doily, and then we'll be able to see if there are any areas that need to be glued down further. This is the area that I want to look at when I'm opening up the envelope. Let's see, put a little bit of ink in there where some of the color lifted off. So what I want to do next is to fold the sides in so that it's fairly even. And this is something you just kind of have to play with. I'm using the grid lines on my mat to try to get as nice and straight of a fold as possible. Sometimes you're going to have to mess with it a little bit. Okay, so that's the sides. Now I'm going to fold it up and then back down. And this is where some adjustment may be necessary as you're doing this. You can see this side sticks out a little bit. No matter, we'll just pull it back in. Reposition. There, that's perfect. Okay, so now we have the basic shape of our envelope. When I open it up, I see the pretty fall leaves. And now what I'm going to do is take some art glitter glue and glue down the sides. So I'm just going to start with this flap here. And then also go in and glue down this part as well. You just want to make sure that you don't glue it down in such a way that it makes it so you can't open the envelope at all. What I like to do is to decoupage on some pretty papers, and these are from Tim Holtz. Since this is fall, I'm going to add some leaves too. So and then I can also glue decoupage on some on the back as well. Well, actually, I think I better dry that first ahead of time before I turn it over. Okay, so what I like to do here is I like to have my image go across the flap and then also continue on down below. So I'm going to take my water brush and sort of use it to draw around this. And then tear it off. And however it tears off, it tears off. I'm going to position it here. And I'm also going to use my water pen. I'm just drawing around the edge of the doily so that I can separate that part from the rest of the paper and then attach it separately. And then this one down here. Now when it closes, the rose pieces match. Okay, I'm going to dry this off camera and be right back. Okay, so at this point, if you choose to, you can ink it up, give it a little bit more of a vintage feel. I'm just using some vintage photo, Distress Oxide. You can use Distress ink or, you know, whatever. They will react with water though, so be careful, you know, if you don't want it to smear. I mean, it is designed to react with water, and it's really fun to see some of the effects that you can get with it. And I do have a video on that. I have, I think, 3 videos on, you know, working and playing with inks and the different things that you can do with them and stuff like that. Did those a few months ago. Okay, so for this one, I really like this Tim Holtz piece. It's from the Botanical Layers, but I don't really want to use the whole thing because there's just too much there. And I'm also going to put these leaves on there. I'm going to use the little burlap ones because of the burlap that's in here. And I got these at the Dollar Tree. Now let's go ahead and put the stamp on first. This is from the stamp. It's Birds and Flowers of Stamps of the U.S. It's a book that I found at a thrift store. And just for fun, I have a little cancel stamp. One of them's always falling off, so I'll do them separately. There we go. I'm just going to ink this up a little bit. I'm trying to decide how to position it on here. And I think all I'm going to use is just this part, so I'm going to cut the rest of it away. And it's still perfectly usable for another project. So I made this little dear friend, stamped it onto some music paper, so it looks like a little address label. And I put it on top of some chintzy fabric and added a little safety pin to it and some threads. So let's get this one on here first, this little burlap one, because it looks like that wants to be the first layer. And I'll use Fabri-Tac for this. This is the hardest part, trying to figure out how to layer everything. What goes on first? And, oh look, I totally forgot this piece. There we go. The safety pin is a holdover from my childhood, from when I used to pass notes in class. I'm sure I'm not the only one that passed notes in class. And I would always draw a safety pin on the back, kind of making it look like the safety pin was sealing the envelope in the back. They're perfect for fall. And then to give it a little bit more of a fall look and to kind of go with the flower here, I got these sunflowers at the Dollar Tree as well. And I thought this would look really cute. Right there. Kind of goes with the sunflowers in the stamp. And I think it needs a butterfly. Okay, so that's the front. I love it. So on the back now, what I would like to do is put a little seal down here. And I'm going to use this. What I did was I took some cardboard, like the kind of cardboard that you get like from a pillowcase package, and took a sheet, a page out of a seed catalog, and glued it to there, and then cut out a bunch of circles. And then I took some sealing wax. Oh, no wonder you can't see. My light's not on. There we go. Took some sealing wax and made a little bee impression there. So to make this work here, I'm going to glue the bottom part of the medallion here and then attach it. And then that way the flap of the envelope can tuck inside there. Let's hold it there for a minute. And then that's how it will stay closed. So I really love the way this turned out. I hope you like it too. So now we can get started on the other one. So for this one, I have a sheet of music paper. And I'm going to glue to this side so that when you open it, what you see are a lot of music notes. And then these will show through on the back as well. So for this one, I'm going to apply directly to the paper. This is a little bit heavier paper. And again, I'm going to use this part with the crosshatch as the top. And try to get it so that it is somewhat straight. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out off camera, and I'll be right back. All right, so I have this all cut out now, and again I want to put some of this pretty paper on here, and I think I'll use this one. And for this, because it's going to be folded up, I don't need to use the entire rose. So I'll do this one. Great use of a water pen. This is made by Pentel. I got it at Michael's, I think, in the art department. It's really handy for doing stuff like this. And I'll put a link in the description below. Actually, for all this stuff, including this paper. Again, this is Tim Holtz collage paper. You can use napkins too. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to use this side as the right side up because there are numbers here. And not that that really matters, but that's just the way I'm going to do it. And try to get it somewhat in the middle. Okay, I'm going to turn off the camera and dry. Okay, so this is all trimmed now, and what I have here is I have the doily. I'm trying to center it on this grid line here, and then when I'm folding this over, I'm using these dots right in the center, so that's like a 1/2 inch mark. Make sure that I've got it straight, and do the best I can here. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Line these up on the 1/2 inch line that's in the center. Do the same thing here. Okay. Fold it up. And I just eyeball it. Just make sure that when that you leave enough room to get things inside. Okay, so that's the basic shape of the envelope again. And once again, we're going to glue down the flaps so we can close it. And again, I want to put some more flowers. And you can a lot of times just tear this away. Sometimes it doesn't really want to cut very well with scissors when it's wet, but it will tear. All right, so this part is done, and now we just need to decorate the front. And to do that, I have another little address label. Got some threads here, and I like this little safety pin again. Okay, so I'm using some Fabri-Tac to attach this. And this little V here looks like a heart, but that was not intentional at all. It's just kind of smeared, but it looks cool. And I have this rose die cut, again from the Tim Holtz Botanical Layers. It hangs off a little bit, and I may trim that at some point. And then for stamps, I have this little forever stamp. It's a rose. It's already got the little lines on it because it's a real canceled stamp. But I want the little whatever that thing is, the little circle. To me, that just sort of makes it. And then I also have this little applique that I used on one of the other ones, and I just think it's really cute. So I'm gonna let it approximate a stamp, another stamp on here. And it wouldn't be complete without a butterfly. And then on the back, I want to use this little heart that I found. It is, it was just a little wooden heart with a hole in it, and it came in one of the little bags of, I don't know, trims or something that I found at a garage sale. I put some of this collage paper on it. It's all glued on, and it'll be the little tab for holding down. So I'm just going to glue the bottom half of it. Since it's a love letter, I thought it deserved a heart. All right, so we made these two today. This one with the leaves and the roses and the wax seal. And then this one was done with the Victorian magazine page inside. And just sticks under there, kind of tucks under there for a tab. And then we made this one from the music sheet, and more of the collaging on it. And then the flap tucks behind this little heart, which probably isn't all the way dry yet. So a bunch of paper doily envelopes that you can use in your junk journals as removables. If you didn't want it to be a removable, well, then you just don't decorate this side. But I think it's a lot more fun to have it as a removable. Okay, everybody. Well, I hope you enjoyed this and you got some value out of it. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. Please also subscribe if you haven't already. I would just absolutely love to have you on my crafting journey. And until the next video, please let the serendipity find you, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody.